I made a demigod that doesn't look real, but it is. This build can get Legend Challenger, Legend Posterizer, Legend On-Ball Menace, and Legend Set Shot Specialist all at the same time. I made a tweet on Twitter saying I might have done something here, and it went viral. 7,000 likes, 400,000 views, and people were begging me for the build. So today I got you guys with the build that can literally drop your opponents to the ground and so much more, destroying your defenders' ankles and just cooking them whenever you want. You will feel like a real life demigod, guys, showing you my dribble moves, animations, takeovers, everything to make you insane. You can even hit buzzer beater fadeaway threes, literally anything you can think about. This build can do on 2K26, saucing defenders, and of course, you guys know I love my defense as well. Let's get into it after our sponsor, PrizePicks. This is the quickest site to make money with your sports knowledge. In 6 seconds, I just showed you how to turn $20 into $240. And it's actually that quick and simple. Once you guys sign up with my link in the description, you can pick whatever sport you want. But today, I'm going to do the NFL because they have a special that they do almost every week where Travis Kelce only had to get 0.5 receiving yards over that for you to win on his square. So guys, make sure you sign up so you don't miss out on these. But then I'm going to go over on Baker Mayfield because he's got this red demon right here, which means it's a little bit more risky, but if you get it correct, you are going to make more money. So just like that, with 20 bucks, I can turn it into 70, guys. If you want to sign up with my link in the description, do that, or choose the QR code right here on the screen to scan. And thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring the video. Alright guys, in one gameplay, I'm going to show you every single thing this build can do as we're in the rec, and then I'm going to show you my jump shots, animations, how to create the build. You see, we got a red plate on the other team, a purple plate. I mean, rec is the best place to get some skill-based matchmaking. It's really the best place to have competition besides Pro-Am leagues, but they start those way too late for me. So look, I want to show you guys, man, I started this game right here with 2 turnovers. It was bad. We did not start off good, man. They were playing very good defense, but look at the dunk meter size with Legend Posterizer in the rec. It is crazy when you have an open lane. But look, I'm gonna make them jump, and then I didn't get a rhythm shot because they still haven't fixed it. It happens too much where it doesn't register for me. But look, I'm showing you guys how bad this game started. I'm gonna shoot a 3 right there in that little bit of a pocket, and you're gonna see how we finish the game. Okay, so I get another dunk right here, and I got 7 points, 1 assist. You know, we're doing okay to start the game, but I got 2 turnovers. I usually only average just under 2 turnovers per game. If you guys seen my last video, man, I'm like 20-1 in the rec. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen for you right here, and yeah, I don't get a lot, but there's a block. Okay, these guys were playing good defense, and this build does it all. But look, I get pushed out of bounds, and we have 4 turnovers in the first quarter. But look, just watch how we finish this game. I told y'all, you've seen the stats. I average only 2 turnovers per game, and we had that in the first quarter. So I'm running out on the break, man. If you are not gonna guard me, if you're gonna take up bad shots, I'm running that break every time. You better get back or I will make you pay, especially on a build like this. So look, man, we catch it on a little fast break here. They played some good transition D, but I'm saucing, just making the defender slide a little bit and pulling up the 3, man. So I cannot wait to show you guys. We end the quarter with a ferocious team block right there, and now we got the lead back. But these guys are good. They definitely knew what they were doing, but I'm saucing just a little too much out here. Okay, just a little. I tried to steam my teammate right there. I thought the defender was gonna drop. I'm just coming out, gonna take my time, little dancing around, going back down, and then finding my boy corner at the top of the key, not in the corner, which is funny. But look, I get a little like 360 or 180 type dunk right there, and man, this build can do it all. He misses on the fast break, and I just said it. If you miss, I'm running, you better run back. Okay, especially because my teammate in this gameplay has a 99 pass act, but look at my dunk meter right here in Blur Takeover. I mean, it is literally the entire bar. So that's why you're gonna see, guys, that I went with over 80 speed with ball so we can get that Blur Takeover. People don't even know yet in 2K26 that it's honestly one of the best takeovers in the game, maybe even the best takeover, because your entire bar is green and you can just blow by people. That's what Blur does. It just lets you run straight through them. But for the buzzer, I'm greening a fadeaway 3 to take us with 30 points, 4 assists, and 4 turnovers into the half, 12 for 13. So I would say we adjusted pretty good. I had to take a little breath, calm down, and start going crazy. But another block. That's right. this build really does get blocks because we have such high vertical to be able to get our dunk packages, you know, our contact dunks and stuff. And we also have block on the build. I'm just gonna stop in transition, quick stop, why not? So we have an 80 vertical, but as y'all see with my arms, we have really long arms too. And I know that a lot of people were probably thinking this was a 6'1" build, 6'2", like that's how it got all those badges and stuff. No, you see with the blur takeover, I mean, we are just running straight through people. But yes, this build is not 6'1", as you guys can see. It really does get all that. It is really an insane build. I mean, I'm just throwing self lobs. I mean, at this point, I told y'all, bro, you will actually feel unstoppable if you know what you're doing on this game. I'm running the break again. You've got to get back. You have to play good transition defense. Now, that's a good shot on this game, but he just missed it. So I'm in that corner. My teammate has a 99 pass act. If you didn't hear, legend dimer, legend break starter. We are going to be putting that to use, and it's honestly really good. But you see, I'm gonna just float around off ball and no dip that shot because why not? It didn't even give me a rhythm and I still greened it. So as y'all can see, I'm saucing right here, by the way. Oh man, we really did turn out to have a good game against these guys who started off very good on defense, had me a little bit rattled, but we recovered very nicely and just blew them out. You see with the blur takeover, I'm just running straight by. So yeah, legend challenger, legend posterizer, legend set shot. I'm going to show you guys all the badges, but you've seen in just one gameplay, the build can do everything. Right, you got the legend posterizer. You can sauce up with the 86 ball handle that we had. You don't need higher than that on a build over 6'4". Honestly, in my opinion, so far into 2K26, you really just don't, unless some dribble moves come out. But we can, of course, pass. We can break ankles. You've seen the defense, okay? The build gets blocks. It's got legend challenger, legend clamps. It does everything. 23 for 26, 10 for 12 from 3, and we finished the game with 4 turnovers like we had in the first quarter. Now let's get into the build. All right, guys, so something that I really like about this build is I'm going to show you how to create mine, how you can make it with less CapBreakers, and of course the CapBreakers is amazing because you can just build it on as you continue. You can basically make my exact same build if you want, and then continue it on with the CapBreakers as you progress throughout the year. But what I like best about it is you're gonna have to at least go shooting guard, by the way, because this is a 6'8" build, is that you can play anywhere. I mean, you can play anywhere. Maybe not the 1v1 court, but besides that, I mean, you guys will look at it and see it can play everywhere, and that's what's so awesome about it. So you don't have to make a ones build, twos, threes, fives. Like, this is gonna play at least twos, threes, and fives for you, and you're gonna see. So 6'8", 185 pounds, and a 7-foot wingspan. So we almost have a max wingspan on a 6'8". Now look, when the game came out, and since then, 6'8" have been super popular, and you guys have seen that I didn't make a single one because I wanted to see everything. I wanted to figure out the game and then really make something ridiculous, okay? So let's hop into this build, and I'm gonna show you guys, man, the build can play everywhere, but it's incredible, bro. It really is. I retired my 7'4" and my 7'3". I might do a video like ISOing on it, and that's it. So I've moved on to a 99.3 build. I showed you guys 2 different 99.3 builds that I made, and it was time to create the real life DemiGod. Like the 7'4" and the 7'3", they're really good, but most people, they don't have a team around them to help them play defense because those builds are very, very, very slow, and you have to really know what you're doing to be able to get stops, right? So I went 89 driving dunk. I'm pushing this up to a 93 so that we get, with our 80 vertical, gold posterizer, we get our contact dunk packages, and also, as I always try to remind you guys, vertical is for a lot of different things, just like how my last build with very high strength is for a lot of different things, okay? This is going to be for when you grab rebounds, for when you get chased down blocks. It is not just for your driving dunk. But this is, again, the first place where I'm going to tell you guys that if you don't play in any area like stage, pro-am, anything that has Hall of Fame difficulty like proving grounds as well, you're going to be fine with silver posterizer. I'm telling you, go 87 dunk, go 78 vertical, and you're going to be good. Okay, I made this build to be just a massive, just all around DemiGod, can do everything. So that's why I went up to 93, because I have 13 CapBreakers. But you can +1 posterizer, put it on gold to maybe make you feel a little better, or maybe even +2 if you want. But I'm telling you guys, in the rec, in the park, the places that have lower difficulty, you do not need legend posterizer. Okay, we're gonna talk about that when we get to the badges as well. It's all about position. It is really all about the angle that you take in these modes. Now, when you go into proving grounds and stage and stuff like that, you're gonna need that extra little bit more of the bar that it gives you. So that's why I as well did that, because I'm playing everything with it. I told you guys, I'm playing everything with this build, okay? So I went up to an 83 3-pointer because that's the max we can get besides 84, and 84 doesn't give you anything. So silver, or right there at 83 is going to give us bronze limitless, and I usually max +1 or max +2 limitless, which you guys will see. And then I went up to an 87 mid-range. Now the highest you can get on this build is an 89, which is perfect because this is where I put my 2 CapBreakers for my build specialization, which gives us gold set shot, which I max +2, as you guys seen in the intro, and we have legend set shot. So we have legend posterizer, legend set shot on a 6'8" build, guys, 6'8". So once again, I did go 71 pass accuracy, and I know there's going to be people that are like, I play 5s and you said you play 5s. What's going on, badge? What? Oh, you have to have super high pass ac. Again, for me, I showed you guys the stats. I'll put them up here again in case you skipped around. I only average about 2 turnovers per game. In the rec, I average a really good amount of assists, around 10 assists per game. If you know how to pass, if you can throw passes at the right time, you'll be fine with a 71 in this game. Again, it is the sweet spot. I know some people aren't going to be happy with that. They don't like hearing it, but you see in my gameplays, you see in the stats, there's nothing more I can show you. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, okay? If you know how to pass, you should be okay for the most part. But if you want more pass ac, go ahead, you know, go to this 87 driving dunk and then just get more pass ac, okay? So remember, we did have 89, but our ball handle is going to go all the way up to the max at an 86. Now here's another spot where if you're just trying to save a little bit of points, right, because you know you can make my exact same build like I told you guys and then add on to it later, go 85 ball handle. Okay, 86 is going to give you silver ankle assassin, and ankle breakers are really good in this game, so that's why I did that. But go 85 and then add one on if you want in the later seasons, okay? But 85 you want specifically because that's where you get the Devin Booker breakdown, you get the Devin Booker snatchback. I really like 85 ball handle. 80 is okay too, but at 81 you get silver handles for days, so I would at least go 81 so that you don't, you know, drain your stamina really fast. But I'm going to 86, okay? Now speed with ball, I went up to an 80, which is the max you can get on this build as well. That's going to give us silver lightning launch. And again, if you guys didn't see the last video, but even if you did, you're going to be able to take lightning launch up from silver to gold. And it is only from 2K Labs test a 1% difference between gold and Hall of Fame lightning launch. Legend is where you do get a nice little boost, but I'm just going to max +1 it because it's basically the same as Hall of Fame and I get to use my max +2 on something else, okay? And I feel fine with gold lightning launch, by the way, on a 6'8". Legend is cool. You know, you could go 6'6" and go legend lightning launch if you want to +2 it when you get 86 speed with ball. But 80 speed with ball in general, you could go 75 even if you want, but 80 is going to give us that blur takeover that I showed you guys that is so good. I mean, you could even say overpowered, right? So I went 60 interior defense. This is going to help us get some badges as we get there. And then I went 91 perimeter. So as you guys see, the build can get a 96 perimeter, which is again perfectly labbed out, perfectly set up for you guys and for me because I'm putting money on the build as well, like I already did. And we're gonna +5 this all the way up to 96 perimeter, which gives us Hall of Fame challenger. And then as you look at the defense as well, you're gonna get Hall of Fame clamps. So this is what you can do to +1 and then get legend challenger, +1 get legend clamps. I'm telling you, it's amazing. But here's the thing, like I was telling you guys, you can literally just like go 87 dunk if you want. Make sure you get the 89. I would go 80. This is the first thing I would do is get set shot on gold, and you can max +1 or max +2. But you can make this exact build And just add the CapBreakers later as you start progressing your player, as you get more from the challenges or from the crews, whatever it is. Why not? Why not make this and then just add it on instead of having to make a new build later? It's going to save you guys money as well. In my opinion, that's what I would do. So I went up to a 78 block. With our vertical, gives us silver high flying denier. Now, y'all seen, bro, in the gameplays, you get blocks, okay? I mean, if you just think about it, you have an 80 vertical, almost max wingspan, 6'8", with a 78 block. Now, I've got it max +1 in the gameplays. You guys seen when I got the blocks, you'll see I have gold high flying denier. But I'm going to show you in the badges that I honestly, I probably should have been using Hall of Fame high flying denier, which I'll show you as we get to the badges, little different setups that you can do. But yeah, that 78 block is really nice. And to get the next level, man, you would have had to go to an 88 block. So to me, it just wasn't worth it, as I'm trying to make something that is just a monster on offense. I mean, it's the best offensive build. I mean, it could be tied with like a 7'4" stretch. You could say a 7'4" stretch is better, but look at this, bro. Legend set shot, legend posterizer, all the dribble moves you need, blur takeover. It's the best offensive build in the game, or tied with a 7'4", you know, stuff, whatever you want to say, right? But 61 rebound is going to give us that bronze rebound chaser. It was also tied to some things, but I went 56 O board. And look, you guys know this is another spot where you could save some money, okay? You could save some points here and put them into other spots, especially if you don't have as many CapBreakers as me and stuff. But you guys know, man, if you're new, if you're not new, you guys know. And if you are new, now you're going to know. I love my defense, okay? Almost all my builds have high defense. You need it in this game, especially to try to stop someone good. So you need that speed and agility to go along with your perimeter. So I went 88, 88, and you guys are going to see I put +1 on speed, +1 on agility to have a max, because the physicals goes to 89, 89. So some people are going low on their builds and they don't use the potential on the side. This build is all the potential. That's why we went 185 pounds, so we can get max speed, max agility. Now, I went to a 60 strength, and that is going to finish off my build. This one does not have high strength. You guys can add strength if you want. You are still going to be able to get 73, as you see, which will give you gold strong handles. So add that to there if you want. But this is my build. Use it as a template. Just go back and just honestly just listen to what I said if you skipped around on what I did for the CapBreakers and stuff, because it is very important. But the speed and the agility is going to help you. Not only is the speed going to help you run on the breaks, as you guys seen in the gameplay. If you skipped past the gameplay, you got to go see that. You can run breaks very fast, but the speed and agility is going to help you catch up to your opponent to be able to use this perimeter and the challenger, to be able to use the block, to be able to get rebounds, okay? So that's what I do. Look, I could be a YouTuber that goes here, 80 speed, 80 agility, and I could get you more stats that look more pretty over here. Oh, I could get more perimeter, more block for you. But I'm telling you, bro, this is what is the secret sauce for me that helps me win games. Is almost all my builds have very high speed, very high agility if they can get it. You know, if obviously my 7'4" doesn't have high speed and agility, but it's still maxed out on the build. So there is mine right there, guys. I hope that was enough yapping for you to fully understand what I did and why I did it. Here is our strengths. You know, we only have one weakness, which is almost no steal impact at all. And you guys know I've got my max +1 on interceptor. So I have silver interceptor with a build that has a 7-foot wingspan. So that's really not true, right? And you guys know that pluck steals in the game, even if you have a 99 steal, isn't that good. So basically, we actually don't have a weakness. We do have shades of Eddie Jones and T-Mac and stuff like that. Yeah, but we basically don't have a weakness. I'm going to show you everything. Let's get into the rest of the build. Okay, so back to our badges screen that you guys seen in the beginning. This is a real build. And it's not a 6'1", it's not a 6'2" to be able to get crazy stuff like this and all of that. No, it is a real life, all around monster. Legend challenger, legend posterizer, legend set. I mean, does it all. Okay, so as you guys see, I did go with my shooting specialization. But remember, I told you, unless you play in the difficulty modes that have legend or Hall of Fame, like stage or pro-am or, you know, proving grounds, you don't need legend posterizer. So even if you don't have your specialization done yet, just put your build, just put it here. You know what I'm saying? Like, just put it here, your legend set shot. And if you don't have that, you still got gold, right? You still got gold. You're still going to be able to shoot. You can mix in takeovers with it, which I'm going to show you. But this is what I have on just to be a just absolute monster, like I told you guys. And I'm also playing in areas that do really, in my opinion, need that legend posterizer. Like, I'm playing Proving Grounds. I'm playing some Pro-Am with it and stuff like that, right? But look, okay, as I'm looking into the build and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about what I was running, you guys see, I've got legend slippery off ball, legend off ball pest, but this is what you want to do, in my opinion, to make it as good as possible. So take off your off-ball pest, and you're going to want that gold lightning launch over the silver. I showed you guys that it's a pretty decent jump from silver to gold, but then golden Hall of Fame is a 1% difference from 2K Labs test, so you don't need to use a max +2 on this. That is a waste. However, it's still in tier 2. So, you know, you could take off slippery off-ball, and you could have Hall of Fame lightning launch if it makes you feel better, right? Because the test from 2K Labs was with an 86 speed with ball, and this build does have an 80, so it might be a little bit different if they were to do the test like that. But what I'm doing is gold lightning launch, okay? So you got your legend challenger, your gold lightning launch, legend posterizer, legend set shot, and then you see I'm using high flying denier on gold. Now, what you could do is, you know, I had on off ball pest on legend. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I had it like that. I would actually rather run Hall of Fame high flying denier, which is just crazy to think about. A 6'8" build with 80 vertical and block boost. If you're playing with your crew, you get the free block boost. With a 7-foot wingspan, I mean, with the 78 block, like, you're gonna be blocking shots. When I was in the park, I went on a 30+ game win streak on this build before I even had the badges on it, because you guys know, like, you do get rebirth, but then when you put CapBreakers on, you still got to grind out the new badges that you earned. So I went on a 30+ game win streak and I was getting a lot of blocks in the park. So this is what I would run right here to be as optimal as possible. And then you could go silver paint patroller, or you could also switch it up. And this is what I think is the best right here for the build, just to finish it out for you guys, is gold paint patroller and then gold high flying denier, or you go Hall of Fame high flying denier and gold paint patroller, or sorry, silver. So look at that. I mean, just look at what you guys are looking at. That's crazy. This is a crazy build. I mean, of course, it depends on where you play. You might want a +2 dimer and get Hall of Fame dimer. Like, if you guys are playing random rec or something and your teammates just really need that pass act, like, you don't think they're going to be hitting shots, there you go. But I mean, you can do so much on this build. And then I elevated my challenger instead of set shot, just because, like, you know, set shot from silver to gold versus challenger from gold to legend is gonna take quite some time. So that is my build. Let's get into the takeovers. So the takeovers, as you guys see, I've got a few different ones on. I've got my customs on, which is mid-range and three-pointer. So we have a 97 mid-range in takeover, an 89 3 with the blur takeover, which I showed you guys is, in my opinion, the best takeover in the game, or very close, maybe deep bomber or something. It depends on your play style and your build, where you're playing, all that. But you see, man, I've got just 3 on because we already have an 89 mid-range. So if you go with just 3, now you got a build that has legend posterizer, 93 takeover, blur takeover, and you guys know I put my lethals in the top 3 spots usually on almost every build. So I'm shooting in my lethals with jump shot boost, 93 3-pointer, legend posterizer, legend set shot. I mean, you're basically unguardable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really need to have someone who knows what they're doing on defense with high stats. But here's another one that you could use as well to get 97 speed, 97 agility. You guys know I love my takeovers that give you physicals, right? Because you can't make a physical takeover this year that's custom. So this is going to give you 97 speed, 97 agility, which will help with your defense, right? Like, you're going to be able to catch up to your opponent and use that perimeter, use that block. Like I said in the while we were making the build, that this is another one right here that I would definitely use, because not only that, if you guys are playing 5s and stuff as well, 97 speed running down the break, you know, cherry picking, you could say, is going to get you open a lot. I mean, you're just going to blow past people and get free 3s in the corner or free dunks. So I would use Speedster. You could use The custom takeovers, if you guys have custom takeovers that I showed you, you could use jet, which also gives you speed, agility, and vertical. So you're going to get more rebounds. You're going to get more blocks. I mean, 86 vertical with your long arms, with your 78 block. That's crazy. I really wouldn't use that one. I would use the speedster one that I showed you guys, or 3 and D, so that you have high 3-point, high mid-range, and then even in just level 3 takeover, you'll already have a 99 perimeter with legend challenger, legend clamps. I mean, there is so many different things you could do, but right now I'm using just 3 usually. But like I said, man, 3 and D, speedster, just it's up to you, but those are the ones that I would use on this build. Now into my animations, guys, on the 6'8", they are, again, something that you would probably see on most people's builds, because these are really, really good animations. We don't really know what's the best yet. Some of them are just up to you, which is actually really cool, that there's not a like, this is by far the best move, and I really like that so far about 2K26. But your most important ones is going to be your Zach LaVine dribble style, your Devin Booker breakdown combo. Paul George escape is not super important, but your escape is important. In the gameplay I showed you guys, I was using Paul George. I also really like Jimmy Butler, but I was kind of getting a little shit. I like Paul George a little bit more sometimes when you're doing a, you know, an up and down play style. I'm not necessarily hunting for threes. Jimmy Butler is more for threes in my opinion, but Paul George has that kind of like shiftiness where it's like, is he gonna run in? Is he not? Jimmy Butler is straight left, right, you know, and it takes a minute for it to play out. This is kind of like saucy, okay? You know, your combo moves isn't very important. Your crossover, I do think, is very important. You're behind the back. I'm still using Kobe White because you get a huge launch to the side. And then also you're standing forward. As you guys see, the standing behind the back to be able to run forward is very good as well. Okay, so speed, you know, I don't think any of these are important. Besides, again, now your step back Devin Booker, which is very good. I'm using your dribble pull up Pro 2, KD go-to shot. And then into the jump shot, guys, again, I'm using Kobe, which is what you get behind starter 4. I really, really like the Kobe shot so far, but you see I'm using Kobe, Baluba, A+ defensive immunity, A+ speed. But of course, most of you guys aren't starter 4, so what I would use on this build is, if you can get Kyle Korver at a 90 mid-range, in case you guys do go up to a 90, use Kyle Korver. But if not, you do have other ones that are very good, like Scottie Pippen is a very good base. I know a lot of people are using Quentin Grimes. That one's got a pretty good green window, I think, on 2K Labs. So Scottie Pippen or Quentin Grimes is what I would recommend. And then use Baluba. I mean, I personally, you guys just, if you've been watching videos, I use Baluba on everything, okay? So that's just what I'm using again this year. So anyway, into the dunks, we have on our contact pro dunks. We got on some reverses. We got some reverses on your 1 foot, some contact dunks over here. And then we've got this one on and not the 45. You could put on the 45, but I just have on this one. And then into the dunks, I've got LeBron. You could use Devin Booker. Devin Booker gives you a really good quick drop. As you guys see, it's basically a quick drop dunk from back in the day, which was at an 80 last year, and now it's at a 75. But yeah, I pretty much just got on Joe Knows dunks, and I've got on some alley-oops and stuff because he plays Pro-Am. And so I know that he chooses dunks that are consistently efficient at not getting blocked and getting the ball in the basket, because that's the most important thing, right? So that's what I've got on. Contact alley-oops, like I said in the last video, man, I wouldn't even buy these if you guys are a little low on VC. I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't buy any of these, okay? Because how often are you going to be catching oops? Now, if you're catching oops a lot, then go for it, but I've just got these on just in case, you know, get some flashy, really nice dunks. And yeah, that's it for the video, guys. If you want to see my 6'5" build that has a 99 three-pointer, legend posterizer, and legend strong handles, click right here. It'll take you to that video, man. It's a crazy build just like this one. And I'm out of here. Bro, click it. You might as well, because I'm leaving. Peace.